Alright, so we have an autumn themed event, which is really weird. I think this is like the first time I've ever seen this. Actually, in the 4 years I played Pogo, probably the first time. So it starts from October 9th to October 12th, so it's only 3 days long. And it looks like one of the biggest grabs here is that you get more gym, so you get more berries if you spin. And there'll be a different pool of Pokemon popping. Namely Oddish, Bayleaf, Hoot, Yanma, Seedot, Swimush, and Plancoburnium Fungus. So out of these, it looks like a lot of these are, let's see, Oddish has shiny, Vulpix is shiny, because you might see like a shiny Vulpix. So if you really love shiny Vulpix is in this event. So if you really want shiny Vulpix, I would say these are probably what you want to look out for. So these two bullets. This one, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get twice the candy normally when you catch it. So you get 12 candy if you Pinap something. So that's kind of notable. But if you have plenty of candy, don't really want to worry about it. But it looks like there's not really, as far as like the regular like event pool, there's nothing out of notary. Oddish is probably the biggest one as far as like PvP goes. Oddish, if you want your shiny Vulpix, that too. Oddish, you got Vulpix. Sudowoodo's another good one, and Pineco. So Oddish, Vulpix, Sudowoodo, Pineco. Those are the Pokemon that are probably the most relevant for PvP. So you do have some PvP relevant mons here. Nothing to die for, but if you don't have a good Oddish for PvP, a good Hoot, Pseudo, or Pineco, then this is your chance to get, or Seedot even. So there's actually there's like a few things. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say like 5 that you should really look out for this event. Shiny Vulpix is in this event, so Shiny Vulpix is going to be released. For those of you that were looking for Vulpix Community Day, guess what? Shiny Vulpix is now released. I don't think it'll have Weather Ball, but in the future, if it does get Weather Ball, it would be really good in Go Battle League, so I would definitely check that out. And also, autumn-themed Pokemon will be hatching from eggs. And another interesting is what we'll be analyzing today is Deerling. So there's going to be a new Pokemon called Deerling. And it's very interesting because it's a normal grass type. So it's going to be really, really cool. Along with that, it looks like the background's going to change a little bit. And there's going to be the egg pool will change for a little bit. But remember, this event's only for 3 days. So keep that in mind. If you really want to play this event hard, or if you really want your shiny Vulpix, you have 72 hours to get it. Alright, so we have Deerling and Sawbuck. Now, these are really weird Pokemon. They're like seasonal. But the thing about them is that it's a Gen 5, but it's really weird. So Deerling, of course, really has no use in Great League or just for GBL in general for its analysis. It looks really cute. It's adorable. But if you look at its stats, it doesn't max out. It doesn't max out at 1500. However, if there was like a 1000 cup or something like that, Deerling would actually be one of the strongest mons in the meta just because of look how good its stats are. Anyways, Deerling is weak to a bunch of things, but it resists Ghost, Electric, Grass. Normal and Grass is just a really bad typing, just because it gives you that extra weakness against fighters, and there's a lot of counter users in Great League. So even if we did like have a 1000 league, it would be really bad. But as you see, there's one for like every season. I'm not sure how you're gonna get every season. There's probably gonna be an event where you can catch one. But it has a pretty interesting moveset. It has Wild Charge. The problem is Tackle and Takedown are horrible. So if it had something like, so let's say it had like Snarl or Lock On, well, obviously a deer isn't going to be robotic, so it's not going to have Lock On. But if it had something that could charge faster, it could actually be really interesting in the meta. Just because C-Bomb would take out Mud Boys, and Wild Charge just hits so hard regardless of like, yeah, it just hits really hard.
So Seed Bomb charges fast, would be able to bait shields. Energy Ball has a lot of play, but it would just really depend on like what, like if that there's a that's a big if. But if there was like a 1000 league, it'd be really good. It has a ton of weaknesses, but some interesting resistances. Like I said, normal and grass is a really interesting typing. Now it's coming up for this event. The thing about Deerling, it looks really cute. It has some pretty cute shinies too. The shinies are actually pretty sweet. So this is the shiny. It's like orange. I don't. It's like orange. So like it's like autumnish. It looks like every one of its forms actually has a shiny form into it. So like the pink. So it looks like when you get the shiny version, it looks a lot closer to its season than the regular versions. For example, autumn is orange, so the shiny is orange instead of pink. And then you have like summer, and then like I don't know, fall, etc. That's Deerling. So Deerling, like I said, okay, not really great. Really interesting typing though, normally grass, and I'm not sure if those seasons are gonna, if the seasons mean different typings, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when you go to Sawbuck. And now we have Sawbuck. Now Sawbuck is Deerling's evolved form, and it's yeah. It looks like Statler decided to finally go seasonal and stop like working at the North Pole or something. I have no idea. It's a deer, of course. And well, this is a buck. Get it? If you watch basketball, Miami Bucks, Sawbuck. Get it? It's a buck. It's a buck. Anyways, it's kind of it still retains normal and grass typing, but with that being said, it also has a ton of weaknesses, and it retains the same weaknesses. I mean, it same resistances. So from Deerling, it does evolve, and it has a high attack and stamina stat. Maxes out at 2416, so probably would work best in Ultra League, maybe? If you best buddied it, it probably could get close to 2500 because of its attack stat, so maybe it could have some use if you best buddied it. However, it's kind of bad for Great League. If you use Sawbuck, you would have, there's so many things. Galvantula with Lunge would love, if they saw a Sawbuck. It would love Machamps. It would basically, there's a lot of Alolan Marowaks, and Flyers are one somewhat meta, and Dugong says hi. And also you have Beedrill. So there's just so many things that actually take out Sawbuck. There is a ton of resistances, so you got the Mud Boys, you'll resist the Mud Boys, you'll resist Mud Boys, you'll also resist Ghost, you resist Electric, you resist Grass. So things like Meganium, Ferrothorn, electric types like Galvantula that if you manage, well, you have to block the lunge, but those discharges, you will resist those. Now for Ultra League, if it was for Ultra League, Tangrowth, Venusaur, Swampert, and Empoleon, but because you have that grass typing, Drill Peck from Empoleon would hurt. You have Charizards, Machamps, and Pseudofires like Obstagoon. Excavalier with Megahorn loves this thing. Actually, even Aerial Ace would do a ton of damage. And ironically, Excavalier would just beat the crud out of this little poor dust because of bug fighting. Yeah, it'd just be really bad. And that's kind of Sawbuck. So Sawbuck's like solar. It does have beam. It has both beams. Hello, I am now very interested. It actually has a really interesting moveset. Well, yeah, it has Wild Charge, Solar Beam, Hyper Beam, and Mega Horn. Hmm. This would be really interesting if Sawbuck, well, the reason why Sawbuck is really bad is because it has Feint Attack and Takedown. Feint Attack and Takedown are horrible moves. They're horrible fast moves. They're really bad. They generate energy slowly, and they would never like outpace a lot of like relevant movesets nowadays. It would just be really bad. But if Sawbuck, yeah, it's okay. It's not. I don't think when it finally comes out, it's gonna be great, just because of, like I said, its moveset. But its move pool is extremely interesting. It's nuts. It's like I've never seen anything that has Solar Beam, Hyper Beam, and Wild Charge, and even Mega Horn. So this is just a really deep like charge. If it got buffed in the future, I would say probably if you gave it Bullet Seed, it would be nuts because you could do for like the amount of damage. If you use it as a closer with this moveset, it'd be pretty. The amount of damage it could do is a lot because of its stats. And even in Master, even in Ultra League, it would give you a lot. It would take out the Empoleons. It would take out Empoleons. It would threaten Steel types just because Wild Charge hits so hard. Mega Horn could take out its opposing weaknesses too. So it has a lot of deep move pulls if it were to get a better move set. Now, Sawbuck does need to be maxed out at level 40, so it kind of sucks that you need to max it out at level 40 in order for it to work. Let's see, does its moveset? Okay, it doesn't look like if you change seasons, it actually like changes its typing. Its typing seem to be the same, movesets are the same as well. It costs 50k dust and 50k candy. If you wanted to use it for Great League, it looked like it maxed out at probably 22, 21, 22 CP is probably where it would max out, and plus 50 dust, that'd be about like, that'd still be pretty expensive, but in all honesty, it's not really a great mod. But like I said, it could be good. It could be good. So in summary, it looks like Sawbuck isn't going to be anything interesting for PvP. The fact that it has Feint Effect and Takedown makes it really bad. If it had something like Bullet Seed, so it could generate energy quickly, it could possibly be really, really good. Because it would take 4 Bullet Seeds to get to a Wild Charge, and it has a really deep move pool, so it could threaten a lot of mons. So it would have a lot of play if it had something like Bullet Seed. So Sawbuck. But the biggest grab of this event looks like to be Vulpix. So Vulpix, and it looks like Vulpix because Vulpix is shiny, and Ninetales is a really sweet mon. Now the regular Cantonian version is kind of meh because it's weak to a lot of things. Swamperts, rocks, ground. So Bastiodon loves Ninetales. It loves Ninetales. But it has a lot of resistances. Bug, Fairy, Fire, Grass, and Ice and Steel. So it does resist a lot of things, Cantonian Ninetales. Cantonian Ninetales has Fire Spin, Ember. Fire Spin's probably the most interesting thing. It just takes forever to charge with Fire Spin. At the same time, Ember's Legacy and so is Flamethrower. So its moves are very weird. It has Overheat. So it has nuke potential. It has Flamethrower, so Flamethrower is an option, but that's a legacy. And it has the beam. So this is the most part about it. It has a beam. This is all you need to worry about. It has a beam. Fire Blast and Flamethrower are also legacy, and so is Ember. But Ember is kind of an underpowered fast move to begin with, so Fire Spin would be your best bet. So Fire Spin, probably Overheat for the nuke ability, and Solar Beam. It would probably be used best as a closer, not as a baiter, just to put it out there. And it's what it is. But that's the biggest grab of this is Vulpix is shiny, because Vulpix shiny is pretty sweet. Along with that, Ninetales does have Ninetales. That's a really cool shiny. Ninetales is a really cool shiny. That and shiny. Well, shiny Alolan Vulpix is already out, so don't worry about that. But the biggest grab here is probably Ninetales. In summary, it looks like Sawbuck isn't going to be really good for PvP. If it got something like Bullet Seed, it could have some play. Wild Charge plus Bullet Seed, Mega Horn, and Beam would be really dangerous. And just, it would be really, and with the normal and grass having, it might not be half bad. Anyways, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you guys saw. Remember, October 9th to 12th. So you have 3 days to get your shiny Vulpix and all the mons, all the PvP mons, and everything you want from this event. You guys have a good one, and I will see you. Good luck. Get your Shundos, get your shinies, and I'll see you guys on the next video.